Nikki. I am so glad to be back on YouTube. I had to take a little hiatus just because of life, but I am so glad to be back. And today I wanted to do a comeback with my lovely friend Jocelyn.
Hi, everybody.
I'll put her link down below, her Instagram name. We actually met via Instagram, and she's became one of my very best friends. So today we are going to talk about how you don't have to have a goal in recovery. And we're going to kind of tell you about some of our struggles and, you know, just how we deal with day-to-day life and overcoming the stigmas around recovery. So here we go. As you guys know, I struggled with anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating and negative body image throughout my teenage years and early 20s. And I've been in recovery now for about 5.5 years. What about you, Jocelyn?
I have struggled with depression, anxiety, and PTSD since I was young, since I was a kid. I often say that I feel like I'm in depression recovery because I don't really know how to exist in the world like most people, because I've spent so much of my life in this dark place that I don't really know how to just like human like everybody else. Over the past few years I've also struggled with orthorexia, and so I've been in recovery for that this past year.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, orthorexia is when you're really focused on clean eating. So, you know, me and Jocelyn kind of share that because I struggled with not eating or bulimia or binge eating, and so we kind of can relate on that. But at the same time, we were talking today too, and you know, although we're both in recovery for different things. You know, so we really work hard in our friendship to understand one another and just really be supportive. But we were talking today, and we were talking about how, especially on social media, like there has to be this end goal in recovery. So, you know, say you go to a clinic for eating disorder recovery, you're supposed to come out and just be, bam, you'll be able to eat any food you want, you know, go to family functions, go out to dinner. You're just supposed to be able to just live as a normal human, as Jocelyn was saying. And hear her, she's been in recovery now for over a year, and, you know, she still struggles to function like a normal human. And I've been in recovery for, like I said, for 5.5 years, and I still struggle, all the time, all the freaking time. So, you know, a perfect example of when I struggled is, you guys know I was just in California visiting family, and home for me can be very triggering because, you know, that's where I was bullied a lot and just made fun of, you know, for my weight. And that's where a lot of my body image started. And so when I was home, I remember one time I was getting chicken noodle soup, and my dad told me, he's like, well, why don't you just pick from the top of the soup container, so that way you don't get all the noodles. I instantly got triggered. I put the soup back in the container, and I just got the broth, and I didn't even end up eating the soup that night, you know. And that can go, how quickly from someone who is in recovery can go from, you know, feeling happy to feeling triggered and not even able to eat. But I wanted to share that with you guys because that doesn't mean that I'm not in recovery. It doesn't mean I'm not trying. It doesn't mean that I haven't made strides in recovery, because I have. You guys have seen that I have been able to eat foods that I never thought I would. I've been able to go to Denny's at 4 a.m, go partying.
That's,
you know,
so huge.
Yeah.
You're living your life.
Yeah.
You know, and that you've shown that, like, this is just life. Like, I think that when it comes to recovery or struggling with mental illness in general, I think so many of us have like these rose-colored glasses of like what it's supposed to look like when we're quote unquote recovered, or what it's supposed to look like when we're not going through a depressive season, or like whatever it may be for you. But it's not about that, because you are still just as valid in your recovery as you were that day when you struggled, just as much as when you went to Denny's at 4 a.m.
And I was just as much in recovery as when I was able to eat at Denny's at 4 a.m, or when I struggled, you know, to eat the soup because I felt triggered. You know, but today it was so freeing just sitting with Jocelyn and eating a bag of popcorn while she ate an apple. We were just sitting there like laughing. We're like, hell, this is the days that we fight for in recovery, the days that we feel happy And, you know, to be able to find friends who are in recovery like me and fellow empowering women. You know, and so we really just wanted to come on here and tell you guys that, you know, if you're struggling today, it's okay. You don't need an end goal for 2018. You don't need to say at the end of 2018, I'm not going to have any food fears.
Yeah, it's not about that, because I think we need to switch our mindset from I need to do this or I have to do this in my recovery and then it'll all be good enough. Like, what good is that going to do? I think we need to switch the goal from that to however I am today. Like, my goal for today is just to be as kind to myself as I possibly can. And that might look different every day depending on if we're struggling, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't make you any less of a recovery warrior or a good person or an inspiring person or whatever.
Yep. So we really just wanted to come on here and tell you that, you know, we've both been in recovery for quite some time. We're both still struggling. Yeah, we both have goals for 2018. If we hit them, we do. If we don't, great. We're both still doing the very best we can.
Yeah.
And
that's enough.
Yep. And I just can't stress enough how important it is to surround yourself by people that
positive
uplift
people.
you. Because that's how you do make strides in recovery, from people that challenge you to step outside your box and just challenge you to be your best.
Yeah.
And that's all that we have today. And we just want you to know that we love you all. And I will link her Instagram down below. Please go follow her because she's amazing.
I love you.
All right. Love you guys. That's a wrap.